Hello you guys, and welcome back to my channel. So as promised, I'm gonna talk about how I lost my legs and what led to my amputation and how everything happened. Because this is such a long story, I didn't want to talk about it in my introductory video. I wanted to just have a different video just to talk about that. Now, we currently live in the Pacific Northwest. We moved from California Bay Area, San Francisco Bay Area in California almost 2 years ago in 2018. And so everything, how I lost my legs and how I got sick, this all happened in the Bay Area. And I was actually during the weekend, no, Monday morning, everything started happening Monday morning, Monday, July 10, 2017 or July 11, 2017. But anyway, it was a Monday morning. I woke up, I went to check on my daughter, and she actually had a fever, and she was kind of being very lethargic, and I was able to schedule an appointment for her to see her pediatrician that same day. So I decided to work from home that day, and then my husband took the boys to school. And I was fine, I was feeling fine, but then all of a sudden at like around 9 o'clock, 9:30, my energy level literally went from here to like here in like 30 minutes, and my fever just spiked up, and I was hot, I was lethargic, and I had like a smaller child in the house with me. She was at the time 1 year old, and I didn't feel comfortable just being by myself with her in the house. And so I called my husband. I'm like, you need to come home, there's something wrong with me, I am not feeling too well. So he came home, and I was able to put my daughter down for a nap, and then he came home, and then I took Tylenol fever reducer, and he took my fever, and it was like 102 point something. It was really high, and I was really tired. I was like exhausted, and I didn't even have the strength to like lift a finger, nothing. So I'm like, I am so tired, I need to go lay down and take a nap. So I went to lay down, and he tried to call my primary care physician, but she didn't pick up. And at the end, after I woke up, I felt worse than when I went to bed. I think I took a nap for like 2 hours or maybe an hour and a half. I'm like, you need to take me to ER right now. So the good thing was that the ER and the doctor's office were all in the same medical building. So he dropped me off at the ER, and then he took my daughter to see her pediatrician. And when I was in ER, I checked in. He actually helped me. He helped me to check in because I couldn't do anything. And I sat down there, and they called me, and I couldn't even lift my hand to sit, and I was able to murmur here or whisper here. And they're like, are you gonna be able to walk? Do you need something? I'm like, yeah, I'm not able to walk. So she brought in a wheelchair, helped me get into the wheelchair, wheeled me in. And I don't know what happened between then, but I really remember later that I was still in the ER. Was I still in the ER? No, yes, I was still in the ER. And then somehow when my husband was done with my daughter, and then he went to pick up our boys from school, somehow along the way he called me or he texted me or what, I don't remember. I told him that I was fine, that he can come pick me up. The lies, like lies. I wasn't going anywhere. I wasn't feeling good. I was like, I was just delirious or delusional. I don't know what mental state I was in, but I was in no shape or condition to go home, to go anywhere, to not even go to the bathroom, And they were still they were running tests, they were running all this, they were trying to figure out what's happening with me. And he comes with platoons of kids, like 3 kids be laughing with him, saying that, oh, I'm here to pick up my wife. She said she was ready. And the nurse is looking at him like, she's not going anywhere. She can barely talk. She's not going anywhere. Yeah. And they came to see me with the nurse. I'm like, I need to go home, I need to go home, I have to do this, I have to work. And we were in the middle of closing the month and the quarter. This was beginning of July. So as an accountant, you know that you close in June, you close in the quarter, you need to report, you have results that you need to report, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I'm like, I need to go home. And I started pulling all the wires, all the IV or what, and there was blood everywhere, and it was just, yeah, it was a mess. All that in front of my kids. So I freaked out the kids, I freaked out my husband, I freaked out the nurse, I freaked out myself. And finally everyone left. My husband, the kids, they just left. And they kind of got me under control. I calmed down. I think they gave me something. I don't know what they gave me, but they gave me something. Because then I fell asleep and I woke up Tuesday morning and I was slightly better, but still not better. And they said something that, you know, they're still running tests, but because of my anemia history, they will give me a blood transfusion. And then they didn't have the blood at this hospital. They had to, you know, bring it from San Francisco, and then Bay Area. Everybody knows the traffic in the Bay Area. It's a mess. So they had to have like, they had to have a chopper bring the blood from San Francisco to the hospital where I was. And I'm like, dang, this is serious. If you're gonna, you know, freight the chopper to just bring me blood, it must be something that they're not telling me, you know. And that was Tuesday. And actually the night, Monday night, I had actually texted my sister. It was actually her birthday. I had texted her, I'm like, happy birthday. And then on Tuesday my mom was supposed to come, and I was texting her, I'm like, by the way, I'm in a hospital. I don't know what's happening, but I'm in a hospital. I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to come pick up mom. No, I'm not sure. I'm not gonna be able to come pick up mom. My husband's gonna come pick her up. And so that was Tuesday. Or was it Wednesday? I think it was Tuesday. And then he picked her up, came to the hospital, and I was talking to her, but then she told me later that some of the things that I was saying didn't make any sense. So I was already losing my mind right then. And she was kind of getting worried per se, but she didn't want to show it. And she was also tired from a long trip. And they went home. That was the last thing I remember. And something must have happened Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, because the next thing that I remember was me waking up in a completely different hospital. So this is something that I was told, because I don't remember what happened. So what happened, I guess I was told that Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, this is what I was told. Once I finally woke up, was that apparently the night of Tuesday to Wednesday, my organs, my body started shutting down, literally shutting down. I had, my kidneys were failing, my lungs collapsed, all of my organs were literally failing. I was having like organ failures. And I also had a cardiac arrest, basically. And I'm like, literally, what was the scariest part was when I was told that I had a cardiac arrest. I'm like, that's not possible. You know, I'm young, you know, I cannot be having a cardiac arrest at like 37 years old, or 36. Yeah, 36 years old. And I'm like, this is crazy. Oh, also the night of Monday night to Tuesday, they had to insert, because they didn't know what I was having. They wanted to inject me with a whole bunch of antibiotics, so they inserted what is called like a PICC line. It's a catheter line, and that they actually, yeah, over here and straight to my heart. But this, I guess Tuesday night to Wednesday morning, this started bleeding. So they actually had to take this one out and insert new one via here. You can see the scar right here. And then it went like, so it went straight to my heart. And I had to get intubated because my oxygen level really dropped. It dropped to like alarming level. I can't remember what it was, but it was under less than 90%. When it's less than 90%, you're in big ass trouble. So and because everything was shut, my body was shutting down, and my organs were all failing, they literally had to put me in induced coma and intubated me. And I woke up in a different hospital in San Francisco. And the reason why they had taken me to a different hospital in San Francisco was that in the northern part of Northern California, that hospital was the only hospital where they can perform a plasmapheresis. They wanted to do a plasmapheresis. What I ended up having when I was intubated and they kept running tests and stuff was that I had blood infection. I had sepsis, and I was going through a septic shock. Basically, that's what I had. I was going through a septic shock, and they tell you that, and you're like, you don't know how that happened, and you're like, take care of your body as much as you can. You eat healthy, you live a healthy lifestyle, and this just hits you, and you're like, what did I do to deserve that? And apparently they found streptococcus and pneumococcus. The pneumonia, I didn't have it when I got to the hospital. I ended up having pneumonia at the hospital. Now the strep throat, I had strep throat earlier in the year. I had strep throat in February, and I followed this prescription. I finished the 10-day antibiotics course, and somehow the bacteria stayed in my system, and from February all the way till July it stayed in my system, and somehow got into my bloodstream and started attacking my blood. That's spiked the fever, and I went into a septic shock. And because my blood was heavily infected, they wanted to do the plasmapheresis. Plasmapheresis is they purge your infected blood and they replace it with new blood. So that's why I ended up going to the hospital in San Francisco for. I woke up, but they couldn't do that while I was still in a medically induced coma. So they slowly woke me up, and when I woke up, I was tied to the bed. I'm like, why am I tied up to the bed? Well, I didn't say that out loud. I was thinking, like, why am I tied up to the bed? Because I couldn't really talk. And they were like, yeah, but then when you came, you were kind of fighting. They had to, like, tie you up for your protection, for the protection of the nurses and doctors. I was ashamed. I'm like, oh, it's not your fault, but yeah, and but they kept me intubated. I was still intubated. I was still receiving oxygen. I was still getting fed via the tubes, and but I was awake. They did the plasma. I was awake, and then the next day or 2 days later, they did the plasma. I was stable enough to go to the plasmapheresis, and then I looked at my feet, and they were like black, like burn. It felt like I was a burn victim. I'm like, what happened? And apparently one of the side effects that one of the drugs that they gave me, the drug that was actually effective fighting the bacteria, one of the side effects was that it prevents the blood to flow through the extremities of your body. So my lower extremities, my legs, my feet, weren't getting enough blood supply to keep the cells alive. So basically the cells, the nerves, everything just died down there. And I'm lucky that it didn't affect my hand, because I heard that the first one to get affected are your hands, and second is legs. Some people even lose all 4 limbs, and I was one of the lucky ones, I guess, to not only have lost both my legs. And I had my plasmapheresis. I was stable enough, and then I got transferred back to the original hospital that I was in. And they didn't take me to ICU. I was in a step down ICU. It's not ICU, it is the ICU, but it's not critical. It's not ICU critical. It's a step down from critical level. So I was there a few days. I spoke with a vascular surgeon, and he was the one that they actually got in touch with when they saw that my legs were literally dying. The cells in my legs were literally dying, so they brought him over to kind of consult, and he was giving them advice on things that can, limit the damages, but the damages were, they were done. They were, I'm lucky that's the only thing that I have to, it could have been so much worse. My kidneys could have completely failed, and then I'll have to go through dialysis like once or twice a week. God knows how often you have to go for dialysis. But he was very reassuring. The vascular surgeon that I talked to, he's like, the only option you have now is just to have the legs amputated. We'll try to, one of them was completely dead. The other one was maybe 75% damaged, and he's like, well, we could try to save that one, but you're just gonna live the rest of your life in pain and discomfort, and you're not gonna have a good quality of life. Whereas if you just amputate both, you get back to walking, I'll write, you get prescription for prosthetics, and you have, your quality of life will be so much better. It won't be the same as it was before, but it will still be decent. And I'm like, okay, fine, let's go ahead and do the first amputation. So I was discharged from the hospital at the time, and she said, okay, come meet me at the office and we will schedule your first amputation. And then I went back to his office. Then I had a wheelchair. Actually, I couldn't walk. I literally couldn't walk because it was that painful to even step on my feet. I just couldn't walk. And he was like, okay, so we scheduled the first surgery for, I think it was early August of 2017, and it was successful. I woke up with the big ass giant cast on and the pylon foot. It's just like, it's not like it was just amputated and that's it, and it just left to the environment or whatnot. I had a cast, like an actual cast on from like mid-thigh all the way down. That thing was heavy, and the pylon foot at the end. And the first week I'm supposed to, actually I went to inpatient physical therapy, and I was going through physical therapy sessions and also occupational therapy sessions where they teach you how to navigate around your house, as an amputee. And I did physical therapy. I mean, you are literally working out. I'm like, anyway, so after the surgery, I went into like physical therapy, like inpatient hospital, and it was called Acute Rehabilitation Center. I think that's what it's called. And I had physical therapy sessions, I had occupational therapy sessions, and I also talked to a neuro physician. And the reason why I talked to a neuro physician was because the reason why I talked to a neurosurgeon, a neurophysician, is because something that I was not told was that you have what is called phantom pain. Basically, your brain still thinks that there is, nerves at the end of your limb, and continues to send signal. And I was like, this is wild. And I talked to a neurophysician to kind of find better ways to train my brain, basically to literally train my brain to stop sending signals, or to stop sending signals to my limbs. But they also prescribed me this prescription called Neurontin, it helps with phantom pain, and that did help. And also the brain exercises did not work at all whatsoever. It worked when you only have one limb, but then later when you have both of them amputated, it just doesn't work, you know. And so after that, I was the cast that I had on my leg had to be changed like every week, and with every change I can put more weight on the leg, and I went from 100%, no, 0% to 100% in about 3 weeks or 4 weeks. And I think I spent like 2 weeks at the rehab center until I was deemed strong enough to go home. And I had to we had to modify the house a little bit. The good thing we had was that we only had like 1-story floor, and I didn't have to go up and down the stairs. And I did have a walker that was helping me walk. They wanted me to be walking and get on my feet a little bit, because my muscle, after laying in bed for like almost a month and a half, my muscles were completely atrophied, and I really did not have any strength whatsoever. I was literally severely weak. So they wanted me to get on my feet because I had to be physically a little bit fit before being fitted with prosthetic leg. And my vascular surgeon, he was literally on my side at every single step of the way, and he called insurance, he played my case, and I was fit with the first one. And we ended up having this to schedule the second amputation. So the first amputation happened in August, the second happened in October. And when I left the rehab center, he also prescribed for me to have in-house physical therapists come in. And I think I have some pictures. If I go back and I see some pictures, I will be adding them here and there. In the video. And so the physical therapy was coming home and you know, giving me exercises and working me out and having go through like a wide range of, you know, different exercises. And then I had my second amputation done in October. It was actually a week or 2 weeks before Halloween, I believe. And then after that, I did not go back to rehab center. I went straight home because I was kind of used to it. So now still with the cast and the Paladin food. And then the first week was still, you know, 0% weight load on the food, and then and then the week after it was like 25%, and then there's like 60, and then 80, and then 100%, and then you get fit with a prosthetic leg. So I think I had my second prosthetic leg at the end of November, like after Thanksgiving. Like, yeah, after Thanksgiving, early beginning of December. Yeah. So from July to December, that's what's 5 months of ordeal. And now the prosthetics legs that I use, since then I've been through 3-4 different legs also already, because the swelling, as the swelling goes down, you need to get new sockets. After a while your sockets don't fit anymore. But I will do another video about the anatomy of a prosthetic legs and the different components of a prosthetic leg. Whew, it was a long story. It was like, yeah, I hope I didn't bore you guys with my crazy health scare. And if you guys feel like there is something wrong, trust your body. Trust your body, trust your instinct. If your body's telling you that there's something wrong, believe it. There's something wrong. And I'm so lucky that I had gone to the hospital this time that I went, because I was told that if I was just maybe 30 minutes late, I wouldn't have made it. I literally would not be sitting here talking to you guys. So I in a sense, I have a huge sense of gratefulness. I am so grateful. I am so lucky. It's okay, I don't even want to say lucky. Well, okay, lucky. But I am so grateful that I had a great team of doctors and nurses, and that took the time to kind of, you know, dig through it. And my vascular surgeon, he was just amazing. My prosthetist, he's just awesome. And talking about my prosthetist, he actually, we told each other the same day that we were both moving to Washington State. He was like, I have news for you guys. Like, guys, like, my husband and I, we're like, what? It's like, moving to Washington State, Seattle. I'm like, what? You are? Well, we are too. So I still have the same prosthetist here in Washington State, and we actually bought our house that we are building via his girlfriend. And it's just, we just became great friends with him and his girlfriend, their daughters. And it's like, you know, it's a good feeling. It really is a good feeling. And I'm so lucky to have him as my prosthetist. I am lucky to have had my, you know, vascular surgeon. I'm lucky to have had a whole bunch of ER physicians and ICU doctors and all sorts of specialists, and the technician who came and did my plasmapheresis, the entire respiratory team that, you know, that were looking after my lungs. I mean, I am just so, I will be eternally grateful for all these healthcare workers. And I admire what they do. And currently, in this current situation with the coronavirus, and they're putting their lives at risk, you know, for the rest of us, you know, for me, for you, for your child, for your parents, for everyone in our community. And we really need to be more appreciative of them, and, you know, and just thank them. And I hope my story is, you know, you kind of got to learn a little bit more about, you know, how you can go from being fine to not being fine, and in the blink of an eye. And just be grateful and be thankful. I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful. Now I'm getting emotional. I had a smile on my face when I was saying the whole story, but then now I'm just like, oh, I'm just, you know, getting emotional. I don't want to get emotional, and my battery is dying, so I'm gonna, you know, stop the video right now before I like burst into tears and screw up my nice makeup and stuff. But so know the signs. I'm gonna put the link of the Sepsis Alliance in the description down below, so you guys can do a little bit of research about the signs of sepsis. And yeah, stay inside, stay safe, stay healthy, and thanks for watching. And if you like it, please share, like, and don't forget to subscribe. And I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye bye.